Hey, and a good Monday evening to you, live from Catamount Jaxe here at Prospect, Cullowhee, right across the campus from Western Carolina University. It's time for Catamount Football Weekly with head coach Kerwin Bell from the Catamount Sports Network. I'm your host, Daniel Hooker. So glad to have you tuned in. Again, live here at Catamount Jaxe. Got Soli out here today as well. So, again, come on down. You got plenty of time. You can join the show before we get done. Again, about an hour here. We're going to talk some Catamount football, looking back at last week, looking ahead to this week. As you can tell, we got the memo. It's a whiteout week here, whiteout Whitmire Stadium. And, again, we're looking forward to that, being back at home. Back-to-back home games for the Catamounts coming up. Again, we got Western Carolina, Elon, and then the Sanford Bulldogs come to town to open up conference play. Of course, Catamount Football Weekly brought to you each and every week by our friends at Stanberry Insurance. 4 locations to serve you: Silva, Waynesville, Highlands, and, of course, the newest location in Clyde, North Carolina. Online at stanberry-ins.com. Home, auto, business, life, pet insurance. We'll say it again, Coach. I know you didn't want me to say it once. We'll say it again. Anything that you might want to have covered, let Stanberry Insurance give you the opportunity to get a quote and look at that. Again, proud sponsors of Catamount Athletics for 45 years and counting. That's about how old I am, I think. Maybe a little younger, 32 years and counting, or 29 years with 17 years experience or something along those lines. But Daniel Hooker joined with Western Carolina head football coach Kerwin Bell. And, Coach, obviously we knew going in, a lot of question marks, a lot of questions to be answered on both sides by both head coaches, you and first-year head coach Jake Dicker down at Wake Forest. A lot of questions to be answered, and I think we came out of that ball game with some questions answered. Some others we're still scratching our head at, but we all knew going into that ball game, we said here on this program, that if number 1 in black and gold played, it would be a totally different ball game. And I'm not sure that Kennesaw State keeps it a 1-point game if Damon Claiborne is in the backfield for Wake Forest. But a tough day, a lot of weather delays. We've been on both sides of those now. We tried to practice that during preseason. We had a lightning delay, got chased off the field during one of our scrimmages, but nothing can prepare you for being there, again, on location in Winston-Salem. But let's talk about that ball game, and obviously a disappointing way to finish that thing. But there were some bright spots along the way that we can talk about.
Yeah, I thought, for the most part, we handled the delays really well, came back out, had a lot of energy. We're just not where we need to be to go compete at an FBS level. Last year you got quarterback back, 3 or 4 offensive linemen back. Offensively, we were able to sort of stay in that game. This is a different team, and I've told them that. It's a team in the making. I believe that. I'm going to stay with that. But I thought we got better this last week, and that's all we can ask for, because if we keep getting better now after the money game, can we now just continue to get better and then have success? And from success, you gain confidence, and then from confidence, you become the kind of team that you can be down the road that can go compete at the highest level in our conference. So that's what I'm looking at, and I think, I was disappointed a little bit up front. Their D-line was, we knew, really good going in. We tried to chip. We tried to do a lot of slide protection. We tried to do a lot of different things, but they just sort of manhandle us up front on offense, which give us a chance really to go do anything offensively effective. And defensively, man, we're still playing really good football other than those 5 big plays. And 3 of them was by a guy who's probably going to be one of the best tailbacks in the draft this year. I mean, the kid is Claiborne. We thought earlier in the week he may not play because he had bruised ribs. We were happy, because I didn't see much after that on there as far as offensively. But when he played, man, he made a big difference. Those 3 runs were all because of his special talents. And then we gave him a couple in the passing game. So, overall, we were a better football team. I thought we played harder throughout the whole game, learned how to strain, which is what we taught. I said, give me 40 minutes or give me 60 minutes of playing extremely hard and trusting your teammates. And I thought even through some of those adverse moments that we did stay together, and we can build off that. And now we got to come home and we got to protect our home field and play extremely well.
How many of these games, when you look at FBS versus FCS, you really start to see the difference in the number of scholarships? I don't care what the record is of the team, and it really heightens when an FCS is able to go and beat an FBS. There's a reason to celebrate at our level. How many of those games do you look at, and you don't look at the stats, you look at the way the game went, you look at the film, you look at how you played, versus taking and trying to go everything off of paper?
Well, I think it's going to get worse. We're about in year 2 of this portal thing and NIL and them guys paying them guys money just to be backups a lot of times. I mean, now think about us. Instead of having 2 really good players to come back, and the 2 we had coming back, and then having 3 other stars, now we had to replace the whole 5 guys.
Yeah, along the offensive line.
Yeah, Simmons starting at Oklahoma and Caleb starting at Michigan State. I mean, that's 2 talented players. I think you see that alone. I think I've been looking at a lot of teams, in our conference, man. The offensive and defensive line, like Coach Diggert, we were talking about the game. He said, y'all just getting murdered, as far as the offensive line, because these schools are paying these guys and they're going, because if you're any good at all, they don't go after you.
Right.
And even if you don't start, you give them valuable depth on their offense and defensive line. So it's tough. And then, we're not a made product right now. Sometimes you come in the season, you're sort of at the height of where you want to be. We're not there. We got to work our butt off to get where we need to be. But through the quarterback situation and our 3 of our best receivers hurt right now, offensive line being young, we're sort of in progress of trying to do what we need to do. I think we're there. I think we can get there. I really do. I think this team wants to get there. We got to get more consistent on defense, not give up the big plays. If we can do that, and I think we made a big effort in that this past week as far as playing hard throughout the whole game, then we're going to make those small steps, and now we got to gain some confidence, and that comes from winning football games.
Yeah, good. And don't forget, if you have any questions for Coach, we'll drop them here in our chat. Again, appreciate all the birthday wishes. That's great. But if you have any questions for Coach, he's more important than I am. No doubt about it, as we talk about this Catamount football team getting better each and every week, trying to make those moves. Did have one question from Bob Saban. Of course, Bob does Tracking the Cats podcast. Does a great job with that, helping to provide extra coverage for Western Carolina athletics. Check it out on YouTube. If you have not, there's also a link on catamountsports.com, by the way. Free plug there for you, Bob. But he wanted to know, talk about the quarterback play. And Bennett Judy got the start with the bulk of the ball game. Didn't have a lot of time. We've mentioned that because of that front. They had a really good defensive line that changed things up on us. And you talk about him, then you talk about Isaac Lee. I thought he came in after things might have been a little sped up for him in the opener in that first game of his first career appearance in college. But I thought he came in and really did well, especially when he decided he wanted to run the football. He was our leading rusher at the end of the day.
Yeah. He showed some of the speed and the athletic ability that we like in Isaac. He can throw it. He's very poised. But then when he can go get you yards the way he can, that's pretty special. So I think he was able to show a little bit more this game. I think he wasn't quite as nervous, going in late in the game. And they had some of their backups in. And Bennett, I thought, tried to keep us in as long as he could. He was getting hit. We just did not, like I said, as far as just getting manhandled, this is probably one of the worst games I've been in since probably our first year here. They were really good up front. I think their defensive line is going to give people problems, and their tailback special. That's two areas they've got some really outstanding football players, and with our young offensive line, we're still trying to figure that out. I think a lot of them made some improvements, and now they've played against some really good people the last couple of weeks, especially last week, and now we've got to make that big jump to be a kind of offensive line that we can go in our conference and go be competitive in.
You talk about that. You talk about scheduling. Playing a game like this against Wake Forest in FBS, everybody has them. Some people have them at the end of the year. We have it here at the beginning of the year last year, opening up at NC State. But that's got to do more for you, I think, than if you were to go out and play somebody that you were just better than. Buying a game against a non-D1, whatever. But you got to think, with that game here, September 6th, whatever it was, playing on the road in the ACC, again, ACC talent. No matter what you're going to say, they're going to get the opportunity to get better kids no matter what because of where they are, what they can pay, that sort of thing. But do you think playing those games maybe helps us things? And now you look at this week, nothing against Elon, but maybe a step back from what we had last week, playing down a weight class in terms of what we did last week.
Well, it definitely, when you get one chance to see them against really good football players, you get to evaluate them really well and get to see where they're, some negatives are, some positives are as individuals and as a group. So I think, like I've sort of gave our coaches this week, assignment that I want every player to have a detailed message of what they got to do to help us get better this week and as a group. And I want every coach to sort of have a detailed plan of what those things are that are keeping us from winning football games and keeping us from being the kind of team we want to be, because we're just a team in progress right now. That's who we are. It happens different ways throughout the seasons.
Right.
But I know I've had teams where to come out to shoot and we're really good. We've had a lot of returner guys, and they're playing extremely high level. right now we're still trying to find ourselves with a lot of situations that we're going through. But I think there is talent here. I really do. I don't think I know, and I'm doubling down that our defense is going to be more consistent as we continue to play, as we gain confidence. You gotta have confidence in this game, especially in each other. And as you do it together on the stage of a game, then you gain more confidence. And I think that's what we got to get. We got to get to winning football games now. And we sort of had a chance to look at them, and we've had a chance to evaluate. We've had a chance to get better at certain areas. We got to continue that, but as we get into this conference, we got to continue to play at a higher level than what we have the first 2 games.
Well, you think about it, we started last year slow, obviously coming out and getting a win at Elon, but we were 0 for 2 last year, and we're able to turn things around and find a way to build. So, again, felt better about ourselves last year by the way we played, especially against NC State in that opener, and maybe feel like that's going to be better. But either way you look at it, and, again, people are asking questions about the quarterback. People are asking questions about injuries. Really hard to tell here on a Monday how banged up we might have been. Probably more banged up after this game than we were the week before, as it turned out. But got some guys that are dinged up that are still getting evaluated throughout the week. Again, just like we said, we're sitting here last week thinking that DeMond Claiborne is not going to play.
Yeah.
Then it turns out that on Thursday and Friday he got back into practice. Coach, he said at his post-game interview that he did the job. He went out and was doing cartwheels and somersaults and dive rolls, and they were hitting with pads just trying to see how those ribs felt. So they really put him through the ringer to try to get ready for that ball game. And, again, when we bottled him up a couple of times, it hit him pretty good, but he's just the next level kind of back, and I think that's what we saw in that respect. But, again, you look at your quarterback situation, again, Bennett Judy and Isaac Lee right there, both of those guys getting some playing time this past week and anticipating getting more time throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they both were really neck and neck through camp, and that's why we wanted to get both of them in the first game. This last game, I wanted Judy, I told him it was his game to go try to get an upset, right? Go try to win, and I thought he handled himself extremely well. He got beat up, got banged around a lot in that game, but stuck his head in there and just kept trying, kept leading our football team. And I thought we had some good drives there later on. As we wore them, they got wore down a little bit with Bennett and got down there and didn't punch it in. But I thought we had 2 or 3 really good drives there. And then, I thought Isaac came in and really played well when he got a chance to. So we'll evaluate it this week. We'll see where we're at, and see if Tiger, what we'll do with him. I know he's probably either this week or next week. We'll see. So, I feel like what we've got to do is just make sure we're better around them guys. And I think our receivers are starting to come around. They played against some really good players last week. Nothing like experience at that level. And so we need those guys to continue to play better, offensive line to play better, just to help those quarterbacks. All
right, so Western Carolina, again, got Elon this weekend. Talk about the white out. Want you to wear your white gear. We're going to have our white on. At home, Elon will be wearing their normal home jerseys, the maroon, the crimson, the cardinal, whatever you want to call it there, with the Phoenix. So, again, get a look at our schedule. We've had fireworks. Now we got white out Whitmire. And, of course, family weekend coming up as we got back-to-back home games. Looking forward to that as we get 2 of these here in September when we go on the road after that to face the Camels. Coach, what do you say we look at some highlights from that first half? And I think we're going to leave out the 2-hour delay. You got to be really positive out of the way that you kick off, and you're going to give Wake Forest the football. You're going to put your offense or put your defense out there against their offense. But you had to feel good about the way we came out. Got a little bit of a trip up there, but put them in some long situations here early on.
Yeah, I thought we played real aggressive coming out of the chute, right? That's you got to play fast, and I thought our kids were playing extremely fast. Had 2 tackle for losses here back to back. Bo really made a great play, and now you come back and you got some of our older guys. There's Bo again, and also JT, Jordan Thompson, one of our portal guys.
And then, of course, what we talked about last week was caging the quarterback, but he's an athlete, and he's done it. He's been a 2-sport athlete. He went to Oregon, went to Auburn, went to South Carolina, and he makes a play with his feet.
Well, I thought, right there we knew where he was at. We just didn't athletically was able to make a play. But I thought we really were more alert where the quarterback was at this week. We got to continue to get better. The quarterback for Elon can really run, too. He's a young kid. But he can really run, so we got to continue to get better at caging the quarterback.
Yeah, redshirt freshman, in fact, the youth. And, again, here you are on 3rd, and you're able to knock it down and keep them from getting the first down, knock the ball loose there. Watch this right over the middle. Great coverage. Again, you're playing a little zone. They try to run something right between the linebackers. How about Hayward McQueen coming up with a big hit and a little pass breakup along the way?
Yeah, Hayward's been great, man. He had 15 tackles last week. This week about 5 or 6, but He's doing a really good job. Yeah, we didn't even get the offense on the field before they had to have a delay there, lightning delay.
Yeah, and of course the rains came. And then finally, 2 hours later, the longest punt setup. I know we were talking about it in the booth. I know you were talking about it. Thought they might try something, a little trickeration there out of the break, but they ended up punting it away. Your offense going to get the first crack at it on the day.
Yeah, and this is where we got to make sure, he makes the Peter call, make sure he gets those guys out of the way so we don't let the ball hit us. They actually got blocked into us. But anyway, come back out here, we're trying to get the ball in pass hand. We don't want to let the quarterback hold. We knew they had a really good defensive line. Like I say, as good as we probably faced here in a while. Had a double pass. I thought we had the tight end there, but he decided to throw it deep and missed on that opportunity.
Yeah, it looked like Don White might have thought he was going to go to the underneath here. Again, you talk about Braden Blackman being open, and then I think he kind of slowed up and stopped running, but maybe a little extra pass interference, a little bump on it. Are they going to say he was uncatchable? I'm not sure, but either way, we don't get the call. And then a big completion here, and you're able to get the ball to Malik Knight a few more times in this ball game, and a big completion over the middle.
Yeah, Malik did a really good job. We had him a couple times deep and didn't make, was able to connect on it. So he can really run and gives us a deep option. This is where we had some sacks that really stopped a lot of our drives. And we gotta continue and our BK is really on it, man. We got to punch harder. You got to stop the momentum. You can't let guys push you into the quarterback. And that's something we got to continue to get better at. And I think, our guys are working on it. We got to continue to get better at it.
How about Hank Bodine there with a nice big tackle? But
yeah,
not only that, but Stephen Brantley had a big booming punt to help flip the field there.
Yeah, I thought Stephen punted really well and flipped the field a couple times, gave us good field position, which is what we needed.
And then, of course, they're going to go to the ground. And quarterback trying to be elusive, but we're able to spin him around. But he's an athlete. He's not a huge guy compared to Gardner-Webb, but he got pretty good size in his own right. But, again, we're able to get him down finally. And still, you're looking midway through this first quarter. And
yeah, great coverage there. Third down, we make them again, punt the football. So we're playing really good defense right now and playing very aggressive and covering their guys.
And so now if your offense can get things going, that's where you need to try different backs. And here Branson Adams trying to get going. You saw Pat Boyd got the start. You tried Kamari Reed at times here, and it was really tough. Just tough sledding trying to run between the tackles there because of what they did up front.
Yeah, we wanted to keep it good down and distance. We're 3rd and 5 here, which is what we, what we wanted to do to be successful. You can't just drop back into these guys and throw it all day. So we had to get our run game going, but we didn't convert on some crucial third downs, and that was one of them. They did a good job with their coverages, but we had a chance to convert there and just didn't get it done. It was 3rd and 5. You got to be able to convert some of those if you be in these kind of games.
Well, they finally get things opened up, but that kind of little alligator arms there can't come up with. That's a big-time player in the middle that he normally brings down, Hernandez.
Well, we did bad eyes with our safeties. They got to see that's their play. But they do drop it, so we come back, and here's the 3rd down. I think, 3rd and 10, we give up on a zone play, we give up our zone coverage. We give up a play down the field for a first down.
And they're going to set it up here, another shot downfield, looking for the end zone and finding it. Samari's there and able to knock it away at the last second. Good way to stay with it there for Samari.
Yeah, he got beat a little bit, but what a great thing, the technique we teach is if you're like that, just play your hands, play the receiver's hands, and he did a good job of breaking that pass up.
And, of course, now the quarterback, kind of a designed run, but he's going to sneak through. And, again, just 2 guys are right there on him, but an elusive quarterback able to get past us and into the end zone for the first score of the day.
Yeah, 2 guys there to make the play. I mean, we got them there. They just don't make the play. So, we got to continue to tackle better and just continue to get better overall on the defensive side.
So, offense, again, trying to get things going. Still a close ball game here, 7-0, and you're able to find it out here in the flat. Nice catch there by Painter, able to take it down about to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we got a little momentum here. Got a big completion, and we're starting to throw it out, getting it out of his hands. But then we get a negative play here. We just, the big thing is get a hat on a hat. Don't let guys run free in the backfield. And that backed us up to the point where if you complete that and you're not backed up, you get a first down. But now we're short, so we have to punt it away.
You talk about the job that the defense did, and a lot of our misdirection didn't seem to have much of an effect on their front 4 or 5 guys. Misdirection plays in that start, and you always have a pick 6 there. Again, if that ball's a little bit underthrown, you probably have Bo Simpson standing in the end zone.
Yeah, Bo Reddy just a step or 2 late right there.
Again, they started to go up top, trying to open things up. Again, they threw the ball to open up the run, and then
That's a terrible call.
That's just great coverage, I thought, by Hassan. The only thing I thought is that he grabbed him early, and I think maybe that arm around might be what they called.
Well, you don't just make up a call. If he pulls his hips and pulls him away, then it's a penalty. But just a great play with his hand on the ball. Here's one of those special runs. I mean, we haven't defended. We just take a bad angle because of his speed, and he just outruns us.
And, of course, the shocking thing of the day is going for 2 here early on. And an unsuccessful play. Bo Simpson says, you're going to stand back there and let me get unabated to the quarterback. I'm going to take it every day. And so then they obviously missed that extra point here. So going to get the football back. And, again, you're still in a ball game here late in this first quarter and just trying to get things going. But a little throw behind, trying to get it to Tyre and unable to get it. And the pick interception there sets up Wake Forest in positive yardage.
Well, we get beat right off the bat up front. You know, that's an RPO, and they hitting Bennett as he's throwing it, which caused the interception.
So then Wake Forest again turns around, and right there, we're using the big backs and then able to outrun into the corner of the end zone. That's second score for Claiborne on the day.
Yeah, our linebacker, we didn't know. Blue's banged up a little bit with his knee, and right there, he just couldn't get to his spot, you know. And but he's hurt his knee a little bit. We're hoping he's okay because he played a really good football game for us.
So, again, you're still right there on the cusp when you're trying to get things going. Maybe a little miscommunication on the route on that one.
I think he just threw it early, getting pressured, you know, let it loose a little bit early. Come back here. They do a good job defending the pass across the middle of the field. We try to move the pocket on him, you know, but they do a good job of getting pressure in his face. And, you know, we just told Bennett, make sure we protect the ball because we want to try to stay in this thing as long as we could. It's already 19-0. That's how you don't have a chance for an upset if you don't stay in it early, especially the first half. And we just weren't able to score enough points to stay in it.
And there were times, like I said, we were able to bottle up the running back there, and Claiborne was taken down in the backfield, and they're going to try to go back up top to the air. And I thought Ashford, he made some better throws than I thought. That one wasn't not one of them, but I thought he made some better plays with his arm. We knew he could beat us with his legs, but weren't sure about the arm. But how about that one? Another overthrown little miss, and Hassan almost had his second pick of the year.
Yeah, good job. Again, making them punt. Like I say, I thought this is – come on, James. We teach, hey, you ball, your feet's at the 8-yard line. If you have to back up one step, you do not catch it. Let it go in the end zone. So that gave us bad field position here, and we give up 2 points off of that safety.
So they had missed 2 extra points, opportunities, and now we get it back, and they get it 2 of them right there on a safety. So now 21-0. Wake Forest out in front. Closing moments of this half. Of course, they get the football on the free kick.
And yeah, the ref said he called a fair catch.
I never saw it.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Here's another situation, man. I think any other player, we tackle him. But in that kind of space, he's a pretty special guy.
Yeah, and again, having a guy out there one-on-one just couldn't make the play, and that ends the first quarter. Again, 21-0 Wake Forest out in front, and again, hanging in there. And here's where Shad Dabney, Cameron comes up with the pick there.
Really good with his eyes, seeing it. He came off his guy, really, and they ran a wheel route, came off his guy and made the play. Really good turnover for us.
That's really good eyes in the backfield.
Yep, good job. Come back again. We're running decent. We're just not getting to that second level, and you know, but great throw across the middle. Great job by James snagging it and getting us a first down.
Yeah, he's been really impressive and kind of in the place, if you will, of an A.J. Colombo. And how about this play right here? Elia trying to do his very best to shove his quarterback downfield.
Yeah, I've never seen too much. That's pretty.
Don't like to see your quarterback. You don't like to see him in that kind of melee. But right here, he says, all right, I'm going to just drag you.
Yeah. Get down. They trying to hit him, so luckily he didn't get hurt on that play.
Well, we're able to, again, get it within a 2nd and 2, and once again, just really tough getting things going in the run game.
Yeah. 3rd and 3, we had a couple of these where we barely, missed the first down. They do a good job of tackling, but I think we went for it, didn't we?
Yeah, we went for it here, and it was very close.
And Kamari gets the first down. That's a good job by him getting the first down.
And one of the positives there. I love the fact that you went with a screen game, and a lot of times, and it wasn't just running back screens, it was wide receiver screens as well, and I think James did a great job on that one.
Well, we had a bunch of them in. We had these outside screens, we had inside screens, we had running backs, receiver screens, tight end screens. We knew the pressure, their D-line was really good, and they get up the field. So here's another halfback screen that we catch them on.
It was perfectly timed because they brought the house.
Yeah, might should have called more of those. we were pretty successful with the screen game. They get so much up the field with their D-line, it really opens up the screen game.
And you talk about guys still running and playing hard. You talked about all those backs in the backfield that all of them run hard, play hard, and again, trying to make something happen. But, again, it's just the speed. You see the closing speed on that. You got time and space, and all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah, right here, man, we thought we had the numbers there. We just not getting a hat on a hat, man. Our line's got to do a better job of getting a hat on a hat. We should have walked in right there. He should have been on a safety. Kamari, I'd like our chances if it's just him and a safety. But we don't get on the linebacker, and he makes a play. And we don't get in here. I was hoping we'd get in here to get it 21-7. And just didn't execute the plays the way we need to down here.
Well, you're kind of feeling like the Gardner-Webb game where they had gotten another score, could have put it away, but obviously if we get a score, we're right back in it, getting the ball to start the second half, looking for that 2-for-1 opportunity.
Yeah, I thought that was big for us if we could have got in here. And I think we kicked field goal here. There's 5 minutes to go in the first half. I'm thinking, man, if we can hold them one more time here and get another score, now we got a chance to go into halftime and feel good about ourselves.
At the end of that play, didn't see it again, but you saw your kicker get rolled up on Christian Lowry.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens there. But then again, you're in position, and nobody makes a play on the guy with the football.
I love the way we're running, though. I mean, house line number 12 comes all the way from the backside and stops from getting a touchdown. And then we get him an open field right here, and we do a good job. Wells does a good job of getting him down. Great play here. You know, this is something that we can work off of. We can get better. They give up a big play, but they get the ball on the ground, and we come down here and stop them now, hold them to a field goal, and they miss the field goal.
Yeah, field goal attempt, and that one looked like it might have been partially blocked.
Yeah,
hard to tell exactly, but
this is what we got to do to keep gaining confidence, is that you just got to – sometimes you got to tackle a guy, get up and play the next down. And we can get to that point, now we'll have a chance to be really good.
I've always said I thought the goal of the defense, make them snap it one more time.
Right.
No matter what it is, make them snap it again, because you never know what might happen. And Brantley gets another good punt here, good hang time, and able to get downfield. And then he gets the Brantley bounce, we call that, as it rolls down and get one inside the 20-yard line here. And a good day for him, 60-plus yard punt on that exchange. And again, they're starting to find some big plays. Yeah, finding big plays downfield.
Yeah, that's a good job by the quarterback. Come out here, and, man, we almost get our hands on that, but barely get in. But they get a bad snap here, and we get on the ball, man. This is a chance for us. I thought this was the point of the game where it was either going to get beat bad or we're going to close this thing. And we just couldn't get this drive in the end zone. With 2 minutes to go, we're on their side of the field to have a chance to get it within, 10 or 11?
Yep.
So.
Now, Justin Wallace and Micah Nelson said, let's have a meeting at the quarterback, and they do so right here. And Ashford couldn't fall on it, and Jay Wall comes away with a turnover. That's a big takeaway in positive yardage. And, again, here's the thing. You've got a guy with a ton of speed in Pat Boyd with the ball in space, but the closing speed of their secondary was very impressive. Good
call by Ryland, a little reverse. And Dom's good, man. He's a tough runner for a receiver. He runs up in there tough. So we first down right here. Again, Bennett doing a good job of not getting negative yards, just getting into our receivers' hands. And I think right here, he throws it away here. That's good. We're okay. We're 40-something seconds to go, man. We just need to get in the end zone to give ourselves some confidence. But they got after us a little bit right here on 3rd and 5. We went for it on 4th and 11, and, man, we're half a yard short there. Our receiver just didn't push to the end. Marcus is a little bit short. And they said his feet was across the line, which you see that, but the ball wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
hey, you saw a good run.
That would have really been big if we could have put that in the end zone.
Well, you saw a great
Right
run
there, it looks like it is on the line.
Yeah, you saw a great run by Branson on a catch out of the backfield. You see a great catch here by Struggles. Again, in double coverage. It's not like he was one-on-one. It's double coverage there coming across, and he's unable to get the first down. But now you got to keep him off the scoreboard here in the final 30 seconds of what was going to be an abbreviated halftime. It was supposed to be a shortened halftime, and it ended up being the longest halftime, I think, in program history, and that the weather delay hit once again. But what was your message at halftime? You understand it's 21-3. You get the ball to start the second half, so you get an opportunity to go right back out and a chance to get on the board, get back within a couple of scores. What were you telling the team here at the break?
Well, again, we got to make sure where one is, right, at all times. But I thought other than that, defensively, we knew what they were doing offensively. We had a good game plan. We just got to make sure we tackle the quarterback and make sure we don't give up no big plays. And then offensively, I felt like, with our young line, they're starting to grow up, man. They playing good players over there. But if we could find a way to get the running game going a little bit more, then we were starting to move the ball. Bennett was getting out of his hand, and we were starting to get some guys open. We just needed, we said, hey, and that's what we talked about at halftime, just the run game. Where can we find some yards in the run game that will help us be more balanced? And that then would give us a chance, hopefully, to go down and get some scores. And our defenses just don't have to continue not giving up the big play. Make them earn it, because I don't know if they could have drove the ball. I don't think they ever drove the ball on us with 8-10 plays. They made some big plays. So we just got to make sure that – and that was our big thing. Let's don't give them nothing cheap. Make them earn it. Let's see if they can earn it. And we gave up way too many big plays there in the second half.
Yeah, talking about the big plays, one of the questions, Onifer Wilmoth, Onifer is one of the longtime Catamount fans, was asking about the chunk plays, chunk yardage plays, and we've seen a couple of instances where we've got 2-3 guys within striking distance of making a play. We're just not making those plays. And again, give Claiborne a lot of credit for some of those, because he put his foot in the ground and got north and south, and Blue Monroe was unable to get there. He was right on the spot, but he just went right around him because of the speed and the ability. So I think that's one of the things this team's been concentrating on, especially that defensive side, is looking at the chunk plays.
Well, and I think a couple things. I think defensively, as we get into the game, they shouldn't get tired. My God, they're only playing 30 and 40 snaps, our D linemen, because we've got so many. We're playing a lot of guys. But like I've seen on film, and I'm sure everybody else does, we got some pressure early. We were getting on the edge of guys. Seemed like the second half we ran right down the middle of guys and worried about the quarterback too much instead of going and go play fast and get after it. Because now when you give a guy time, he can drop back now, puts your secondary in a big bind. And now they hit a couple of big plays down the field because the quarterback's standing back there with no pressure. So that was something that we got to make sure throughout the game we continue to just put pressure as much as we can up front. If we got to blitz them, we got to blitz them. Whatever we got to do to make a quarterback uncomfortable. So defensively, and what bothers me a little bit is last year after half, you might know, we give up a drive right after half. We did that this game, and so some of those things, man, we just got to overcome that, and we got to mentally be tough and go back out there and give ourselves a chance. I thought, like I said, our defense played a good half. I mean, with that kind of running back, he made a couple special plays. Other than that, they scored 7 points. I mean, he made 2 runs that I don't think they had anybody else on the roster.
He'll be doing those on Sunday.
Yeah, he'll do that on Sunday. So they get up at 7. We scored 3, but we down there 2 other times and don't get points. So I think we got manhandled up front. I ain't gonna say we were so much as good as them, and we're young in certain areas. And listen, it wasn't like last year where we had a veteran team starting out against North Carolina State. But we had really hung in there, and I thought we played really, really tough and really physical and had a chance. But we thought the second half, hey, let's come out and just finish the game, because that's all I told them before the game, all I ask is you give me 60 minutes. Play your heart out. Play for your brother. Show me you're committed to them. Show me that you trust them. And that's all I want to see. And I really believe they gave me that in this game. We played all the way to the end and tried our hardest. And we'll grow from that. And I think we'll continue to get better from the other night.
Yeah, and sometimes success isn't what's on the stat sheet, isn't what's on the scoreboard. It's what you take out of a ball game and move forward. We'll look at the second half of the Wake Forest game and talk about the Elon Phoenix coming up the mountain, an old SoCon rival coming up into town. We knocked them off at their place last year. A hungry group with a Catamount on their coaching staff. Nate Harris will come up and come back to home. We'll talk about that as we go forward. Up next, second half highlights from the Wake Forest game. You're watching Catamount Football Weekly right here from Catamount Jaxe, presented by Stanberry Insurance.
So, you gonna play this week?
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 You gonna play this
You
week?
gonna play this week? You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week? This week?
And welcome to the Ingalls Game of the Week as the Warhorses square off against the rival Rockies.
He's going in.
He's going in. Go, baby! We're with you every step of the way.
Back live on location here at Catamount Jaxe, right across from the Western Carolina campus. Come on and visit them next time you come to Cullowhee, which will be this weekend, right? You're coming in for the Whiteout. We got Whiteout Whitmire. We got Freshman Run. We've got Band Day. We've got the Pause Experience with a lot of students, future Catamounts coming up to see the best game day environment in the Southern Conference. And that's our opportunity as a fan base. What can we do to help this football team? Well, we can pack out the stadium each and every game and give us that home field advantage. Looking forward to that opportunity once again this weekend here. But make sure you stop by Catamount Jaxe, the social house. Come on and you want to get some aggression out? We're going to go throw axes after this thing to get some aggression out. We're going to put an Elon logo on the board and try to see who can hit it the most. That's what we're going to try to do to get things ready. Come on out here and visit the folks. They have exceptional staff. They got exceptional drinks and an exceptional time. I'm trying to use axe as much as we can there. It's Catamount Jaxe right across from the Western Carolina campus. Come out and see them. Again, tonight we've got the Solely food truck here as well. They'll have food trucks oftentimes, trivia nights as well, so a great time here at Catamount Jaxe. And, of course, our show each and every week presented by Stanberry Insurance, online stanberry-ins.com. Give Kevin Stanberry and all the folks at Stanberry an opportunity to give you a quote, serving the Southeast with 4 locations, Sylva, Waynesville, Highlands, and, of course, Clyde, North Carolina. Again, online, stanberry-ins.com. Coach, we'll talk about this second half. Again, you go in, you're thinking 10 minutes of halftime. You end up with about 45 minutes of halftime. Again, a lot of stop and start and waiting around. And a lot of people wondering, will they continue this game? Obviously, Wake's got a game on Thursday night. Will they come back out and play it? We want to have the opportunity, getting the football to start that half. But you look at the second half, we'll go and start rolling the clips and talk about some of the second half highlights. And what was your message to the guys? What did you want to try to accomplish here right out of the locker room?
Again, we're 21-3. I thought, for the most part, other than a couple of big runs, that we played pretty good on defense. And then offensively, we just, we made a couple of changes up front in our offensive line. We got to see who can play, man. We've got, I think, 7 or 8, 9 maybe that has the potential, but we got to find the 5 or 6 that can go get it done. And so we made some changes. And I thought we'd come out here. This is a big drop by Pat, man. He's got great hands. You usually don't drop, but tried to run before he caught the ball. But I thought you see, too, with this, we started getting a little bit of movement, on the defensive line. But, again, had to punt, didn't convert. I don't know what was on third down, but we weren't very good. And we were in some pretty good shape, like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. We just didn't get it done as far as conversion.
Another good opportunity there by Emmett Rhodes helping to.
Again, and playing fast, man.
Yeah.
Playing behind the line, making tackles for losses. This is good. This is who we are. First of all, we got a lot of guys we can move around, so nobody should be tired, like I told them. And then, right here, we just give up a big one. Again, that's number 1. Made a great cut on our linebacker, and just we have a guy in the hole, and we just don't make the play. I think you see right here.
There's the pursuit.
We just over-pursue it right there. I have 2 linebackers that just don't get there. So.
And then just the speed. We got some speedy guys in that secondary, but he turned it up a notch and was able to get about 10 to 15 yards away. No Catamount in the picture by the time he got to the end zone with that speed.
Yeah, he's a special player. And come back here, got trying to get Bennett out of the pocket a little bit, get him a chance to be successful, and does a really good job here of hitting Malik. Comes back. Again, Dom with a really tough catch outside out there. We're getting better. We're getting more yards on runs. And this is just a bad snap. I don't know what happened here, but we snap the ball. We do this over and over and over. I don't think we've ever had one in practice that sit with our receivers. So very unusual play for that to happen.
Well, if Malik could have caught it, he would have had a nice little running start on an end around.
He wasn't
supposed
to catch it.
Yeah.
He's supposed to get clear.
And there's the example. You plant your feet at the 10-yard line. If the ball heads, you have to take any steps backwards. You let it go into the end zone. Of course, that's James Tyers. Not had many opportunities on the punt returns, but they've still got Claiborne in there. I mean, here it is, 10 minutes, inside of 10 minutes in the ball in this third quarter, this second half, and they're still running with number 1 in the backfield. And again,
he's got bruised ribs. Got North Carolina State on Thursday. I to me, I don't think they can move the ball without him.
And then
You know,
Hayward
if
McQueen
you look at it, they don't get many yards without him touching it.
Yeah, Hayward with a big-time hit, and Jordan Thompson falls on it. So your defense had a couple of takeaways on fumbles and an interception. So you got the football back a couple of times, and it's nearly a great grab out of the backfield there.
Yeah, again, just too much push, too much push in the second half. We got to punch harder. We got to be more physical. We were setting up another screen there, and they tipped the ball here. Well, we had a really good screen set up. This thing might go pretty far, but just don't get rid of it. Don't do a good job of blocking.
Oh, I thought he did a good job of getting the arm going forward here. They looked at this on the
there's
replay.
our receiver, number 4. He's throwing the screen to. We got linemen down the field blocking for him. This thing might go to the house, but just don't get it off.
Again, pressure from that defensive front and have to punt once again. Brantley, again, had a solid day punting, this time trying to pin the Deacs inside their 10-yard line, which we do. But then they come back here, and, again, they call, I think, nothing on that play.
Yeah.
But there could have been some offensive pass interference as they kind of get a little bit of a shove right at the end, right off of Dirty. But
Dirty
trying to grab that jersey as well.
And Dirty can run. You don't need to grab jersey. You're in good position. Come on now. Now here's, I think this kid's going to be a really good player. He's young. He hasn't played a lot of snaps. He's a true sophomore, but he's going to be good for us. And that was just a great throw. Big receiver. They sort of boxed him out. But come back here, got some good positive yards.
And you got Isaac Lee in the game at this point.
Oh, is Isaac in? Okay, yeah, we put Isaac in right here. And I thought he did a really good job getting the ball off his hand and running the offense.
And then an unfortunate turnover there. And, again, heavy hits in the middle of that line of scrimmage. And we ended up turning the football over, giving it right back to Wake. And then that quarterback still in.
3-2 turnover ratio. We had 3, they had 2. So maybe they had 3. But we got to cut down on that. One interception, 2 fumbles. We can't fumble the football.
Defense still playing hard here. Obviously 35-3 and late in the third quarter. Good coverage downfield on this one as well.
Yeah, real good coverage. Good job. Find knowing where the quarterback is. Don't let him hurt you with his feet.
And then just missed tackles.
Missed tackles here. I mean, this chance to get off the field, there was 2 or 3 times. That was third down. This is fourth
and 1.
Yeah.
And what a submarine play here coming in. How about that play by
Darian Anderson?
We talked about him a moment ago.
Corner coming off the edge. Here comes Isaac, man. Nice RPO. Hitting Malik.
You got Markel Townsend starting to carry the football here.
Yeah, Markel. I was impressed with him. He did a good job of getting extra yards after contact.
And, again, they're hitting hard. I mean, this is still Wake Forest going after it, and some of their guys getting some playing time and still trying to bring pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah. Again, third down, we're just not protecting the way we need to be a good football team and be able to convert on third down.
And I think the slip right there sets up the big return. We were in good position, but a little bit of a slip.
Yeah, that's one of our true freshmen. We think he'll be a really good player, but, yeah, he sort of slipped and fell down.
And, of course, Wake still going to the air here. And, of course, new quarterback in for the Deacs here late in the ball game.
Jaden Cornelius. His dad played at Florida. Good lineage. He's going to be a really good player.
And that time they just kind of find the hole in the zone.
This is by our safeties. Just he should be there over the top. That should be an interception.
And, of course, Isaac Lee. Here's the biggest run play of the day for us.
Yeah. You see he can really run. And it's a good job. Blocked up really well. And he does a really good job of getting out and using his speed.
And wide receivers blocking downfield as well. That's always good to see.
Yeah, come right back, called the same thing again, and gets 5 or 6 there. Right here, man, he's just got to get his shoulders going toward he throws it a little bit wide. He's got to get more downhill with his shoulders, but come back, throw another screen. We threw about 5 or 6 screens to try to overcome their pass rush. There's another screen.
Continuing to find little chunks here and there as we're into the fourth quarter. Again, a shortened clock in the fourth quarter with more weather expected at this point. Yeah. And you're seeing them, I think, the strength of some of their guys.
I love the way he got it out of his hand there to our tight end. That's a freshman right there. Josiah, he's going to be a really good player for us. Freshman out of Texas.
A good catch by Dom on the out route.
One of our really good guys. Everybody thinks we had a bad year recruiting. Number 1 again in the SoCon. Top 7 nationally.
Yep.
Our freshmen. We got some guys that's going to be really good players in that class.
And a lot of these underneath, finding some success here with these underneath routes.
Oh, good job. I love you going through progression there. Got to catch that, man.
That quarterback did everything right.
Yeah, he did a really good job getting through his progression.
And then Isaac's going to
And
try
I
to
love
take
this.
it.
This is what he gives you, man. He's an athletic kid. Sticks his head in there. They call it 1 yard short. And Markel,
And Townsend,
Markel Townsend hits it in there for a
he got a
touchdown.
nice job getting the leverage. He got underneath the defender, and that allowed him to plow into the end zone. So you get on the scoreboard in terms of touchdowns here late, and still playing hard in the last closing moments of the ball game with, again, weather looming around. And
I mean, we're hitting. There's Coco, another freshman, man. That's Bo's brother.
Yeah,
man,
Nicola.
boy, he'll bring it now. He's a hard hitter, number 20.
And JPL out there as well, and Jamari. And good pressure. Again, Jordan Thompson getting pressure on the quarterback, but finding ways to make plays, and that's what Ashford did on that one, or the reserve quarterback did on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of our guys, young guys in there, and, man, they're like I say, it ain't effort. We're physical. We're hitting them. We just got to keep getting better.
And, of course, Wake Forest will end up getting the best formation in all of football, right, Coach? When you get to do that kneel-down play, take a knee and try to run out the rest of that clock. Timeouts. Weren't going to use them probably at this point of the ball game. And that's it. That's how that one finishes there, 42-10, Western Carolina falling on the road at Wake Forest. Coach, you met with Coach Dickert at midfield. You had a quick little conversation there. What was that conversation like, and then what was the conversation like in the locker room after that ball game on Saturday?
Well, I told him I wish we would have gave him a little bit more, competitive game. You know, we just wasn't able to do it up front as good as we needed to, especially on the offensive line, to be able to score some points and keep it close. So, but it was good to get a game in against a really good football team. I think they're good up front on the defensive side of the ball. I think their running backs as good as anybody in college football. So, you know, we got to go against some good players. I think it's just will make us better. Live reps, you can't duplicate live reps, especially against good football players. So that was good to see. And, you know, told him good luck the rest of the year. But then we get in the locker room, and like I told our guys, listen, when I look at this team, it's a team in the making, right? So many green guys in certain positions that need the experience, and we got to do it as coaches. We got to find out how to get them better week by week, and then as we get confident, we got to find a way to win so we can gain that confidence. And as you gain the confidence and these young guys continue to grow, I think there's potential there. I know there's potential there at a lot of positions. That's got to get better, but we're going to keep coaching them hard, and we're gonna believe that here, we've got these 2 home games now. We got to go play winning football, and Elon is a really good football team. They're good all around, offense, defense, special teams. Like I told our staff, it's got to be a team win this week. We got to go play and have our home crowd and get this win and start our march toward being a really good football team. I think it's there. We just got to continue to mature as a football team. And sometimes, some years it's a little different. Some years it's the way it is. And through the things that sort of happened earlier in the year with our quarterback and some other things, our young offensive line, you know, this is who we are. We're 0-2. There ain't no question. I mean, but we're up 35-7. Okay, we blow a lead because we don't finish the game. We lose to a team that we're not ready to play right now in Wake Forest. But I know where we can go, and I know as we continue to develop as a football team and these guys get some experience behind them and they learn how to trust each other a little bit more because a lot of them are new. Let's trust each other. If we do that, we'll be where we want to be. I'm not going to give up on them. I know who they are. I know how hard they've worked. Some people out there don't know that. They don't know how much these kids want to be great and want to win a championship for Western Carolina. So, by God, we're going to keep pushing, and we're going to get there. I really believe that.
Of course, it all starts this weekend. Elon coming to town again. They're doing their job as far as being better, getting better. And it starts, again, accountability of the coaches, accountability of the players. It also is the accountability of our fan base. Again, great opportunity here this weekend to be back at home wearing white. Looking forward to that here, Whiteout Whitmire. We'll talk more about the Elon Phoenix that present the challenge this week as Western Carolina looks to break into the win column against a good football team. It's been a tough year so far for the Southern Conference. See if we can find a way against the CAA that's coming up this weekend here in Cullowhee. Hope you'll join us. Don't get your tickets online at CatamountSports.com. We'll talk about Elon and much, much more as we continue back after this. You're watching Catamount Football Weekly live on location from Catamount Jaxe and presented by Stanberry Insurance.
So, you gonna play this week?
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 You gonna play this
You
week?
gonna play this week? You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this
You
week?
You gonna play this week? This week?
And welcome to the Ingalls Game of the Week as the Warhorses square off against the rival.
He's going in.
He's going in. Go, baby!
Ingalls. We're with you every step of the way.
Welcome back to Catamount Jaxe as we wrap up our Catamount Football Weekly. We've talked about the whiteout. Coach has got on his white. I got on the whiteout T-shirt here. Pretty nifty with the cats on it. Going with a more white look this year. Of course, special thanks to each and every one of the sponsors that are on the back of this. You get a look at some of those right there. Appreciate all their efforts that they do for us and help us put on shows and have big-time opponents coming to town and things like that. So we can appreciate all of our sponsors helping to promote these T-shirts, the whiteout T-shirts. First 5,000 fans through the gates can get one of those. The freshman run, we'll get to see all the freshmen. One of the best traditions in all of college football, in my opinion, seeing all your freshmen come through the tunnel and run out to lead the team out. And again, talked about band day. We've talked about football alum. A lot of football alum coming back into town. Mentioned Nate Harris will be on the sidelines. Be wearing the wrong color this week for my man Nate. Big number 20 from back in the day, from 2008 to 2011. A running back for us, and he's got his guys playing pretty hard on offense. We'll welcome him back again. But Catamount Football Weekly presented by Stanberry Insurance. 4 locations, so used to saying 3. 4 locations now. Silva, Waynesville, Highlands, and of course Clyde, North Carolina. Hope you'll give them an opportunity. Stanberry-ins.com, an independently owned insurance agency supporting the Catamounts for the last 45 years. And, of course, looking forward to having a couple of drinks here at Catamount Jaxe, host of our show. Always such a great time to be over here, and we appreciate all the efforts of the folks here at Catamount Jaxe getting us up and going. But, Coach, we talked about this Elon squad, and you mentioned a very solid. They look to be pretty much kind of balanced, just like you talk about. Looks like they run it a little bit more, looking at it on paper. Played Duke extremely well. Really good game there. And then they had Davidson where they got right. They got their confident win there, knocking off the Davidson Wildcats. But what have you guys seen so far from Elon? A team we played last year, a team that was nationally ranked a year ago, and a team that's still pretty doggone good.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game today, and they made it tough on us. Even with Cole and some of them guys out there, we were behind most of that game. We found a way to win it late, and big win for us. But I know they're biting at the bit to come in here and to get a win on our home field like we did against them last year. So, again, they got a young quarterback I really like. He's a redshirt freshman. He can run. He can throw. They got a back that's really good, big kid that can run. So yeah, they're gonna be tough. And then defensively, they do a really good job of I think on all 3 levels they got really good defensive players. A lot of them are coming back from last year. So it's gonna be a big. Like I told our coaching staff, it's got to be a team win this week. We gotta have our home field. We gotta have our fans here to support us and give us a home field advantage. And we got to go score some points, and defense has got to play their best game of the year. Special teams got to contribute big time for us this week, and come out of here with a win, because this is the opportunity now for us to go on a run, start gaining confidence, start being the kind of football team that we know we can be.
You talk about Landon Clark, the redshirt freshman quarterback. What does he do that so jumps out? What does he do so well that jumps out at you when you watch him, the quarterback?
Well, he throws it really well, but he's fearless, man. The kid will run and play behind his pads. He don't run like a quarterback. He's really fearless. Not a real big kid, but just a really good competitor. You can tell, probably a good leader. And I think he's done a really good job for them these first 2 weeks.
Well, they got Landon and Landon. They got Landon Backey, one of the redshirt junior wide receivers, one of their top receivers in terms of yards. You talk about the ground game, 5 rushing touchdowns between 5 different players so far, or 4 different players so far. So 5 guys with touchdowns. I mean, they're really spreading it around right now, and so it's really hard to get maybe a beat on well, we got to key on this. We knew last week if one's in the game, that's who you're keying on. A little bit more difficult right now.
Well, number 5, I don't know his name, but number 5 is really good. He's a good football player, and he's their number 1 guy. They want to get him the ball really fast. Got decent, good size. So, he'll be somebody we got to make sure that we tackle and we gang tackle and we get after him. But again, they are a very balanced football team. They can run it, they can throw it. They do a good job. Their coaches do a really good job. And it's just all taken for us to have that home field behind us. And we should have more people here than we had the first game. People say, well, we lost. Well, if you're dang a Catamount fan, then you come help us get this first win.
Right.
Because that will help us gain the momentum and get confidence in our football team. A lot of people say, why are you not confident? Well, you're not confident anytime you got young men until you win on the field together. Remember, this is not a team from last year, so you don't worry. Well, they've been playing good for the last couple of years, and you beat them last year. No, it's a different team, different guys, different leadership, portal guys, new freshmen. So we've got to do it together. You do it together, then you start seeing those big improvements, start seeing that confidence take off. And get some guys back that we know can make a difference for us. And we do that, then, this is where we need to start, make sure that happens.
Yeah, 5, the running back, T.J. Thomas Jr. So, again, he's really good. Talk about a guy that can carry the football. And, defensively, Coach, you look at it, 7 sacks, I think, on the year for him. And that's, again, having played in FBS and playing at Duke. So a team that, can probably get after you. What have you seen out of their defense? And maybe some things you can look at with your offense.
Yeah, they got after Duke a couple of times in the pass rush, and then Davidson, it was a tough day for them.
Yeah.
Them playing Davidson. They put up some big numbers against them, but they are got some guys coming back from last year on that D line, and we got to find a way to win the line of scrimmage and be better on both sides. And that's our defense, who has a lot of veteran players. It's time for them to continue to play every play like it's their last. They don't have to get tired. Hook, we substitute. They all probably our most. The guy that plays the most has maybe played 35, 40 plays. My God, so we got to go 100 miles an hour when we play. And when it gets into the second half, we can't be a team that don't get pressure. We got pressure, it seemed like, the first half. Second half, we're not. That's not acceptable. So we got to win that side of the line, of the line of scrimmage. And then our O-line, we're making changes. We're still coaching them hard, because we're going to find 5 or 6 guys that can flat out go play and help us win a championship. And I think we have them there. We just got to find the right combination, and we're going to keep moving people around until we find that combination. So we'll see how it goes.
I think that's the best thing about Jeremy King, BK, the way he does that offensive line. Everybody knows the job of somebody else on the line, so you're able to rotate them around. It's not like, well, you can only play tackle, you can only play guard.
He's done a good job of getting them all play different positions throughout camp, throughout the off season, through spring ball. And so we got a lot of different combinations. It's not like certain people are stuck at certain positions. So we're just trying to move people around everywhere to try to find out who can give us the best chance to go be physical. And we got to be able to run the football and then play action and get our throw game going and be efficient. We're not as efficient a football team as we have been in the past. And a lot of that goes to there's 11 new starters. But by God, sooner or later, we got to continue to get to where we can be an efficient football team. And that's something we're continuing to work on, and I think as we get into our home schedule now, we got to really rev up that efficiency, be good on first down. If we throw it on first down, we got to be 2nd and 5. We got to be 3rd and 2. We got to be in those good situations, and once we are, I think you'll see our offense really take off and be a balanced offense with the run and the pass.
And it's all about rhythm, I think, with that offense. If you're getting that rhythm, get your quarterback in rhythm, get your offensive line in rhythm, and get the defense on their heels. And so, again, I didn't mention, though, we do have Thunder Sticks right on cue. Okay, there are a couple of them. We will have those given out for the student section along with the whiteout T-shirts. Again, we'll let you get a look at that. This for the first 5,000 fans coming up this Saturday. E.J. Whitmire Stadium, Bob Waters Field, right here in Catamount Country. Make sure you get your tickets in advance, catamountsports.com. Get your tickets, get your game day parking. Looking forward to the best game day atmosphere in the Southern Conference, roaring back to life this weekend as we welcome Elon to town. We knocked them off at their place last year. We need to find a way to knock them off at home this year, get that first win, get that momentum, start that proverbial snowball heading downhill, and we'll see that all coming up this weekend. Make sure you stop by Catamount Jaxe when you come into town. Come here first, then come to the ball game. Looking forward to having all of our Catamount faithful back. Coach, one last time, talk to the folks at home. Again, meet them.
Well, listen, I hope you come because there's no reason to stay at home. If you're a Catamounts fan, what's one game? You came to one game. You think that's doing something to help Catamounts? We need you at every game. We gotta win our home games, and this is going to be a tough one. I'm telling you, this will be a tough one. We gotta play extremely well. We're going to coach them hard this week. We don't get them ready to go. I know they're going to give us everything they got, and come out here and enjoy it and help us, man. You don't understand how it really is the difference a lot of times between winning and losing home games is when you have that crowd behind you to make a difference in the crucial parts of the game. It's great to have our crowd there. And so students, man, we get 5,000 to our first 5,000 students. We need 5,000 students to show up.
Yeah, for sure. You got close to over 10,000 on campus.
Yeah.
A couple hundred of them are playing the game. But let's get the other.
Let's get all the other ones there because they'll really bring in our band. I know it'll be great. It'll be a great atmosphere. Let's go have a great day. And our players are going to play, I know, better than they have all year. I know this will be the best game of the year for our team. And so let's go get it done. Biggest
game of the year because it's the next one on your schedule. And, of course, it gets underway this weekend right here, E.J. Whitmire Stadium, Bob Waters Field, whiteout. Make sure you wear your white to the ball game. Again, come by Catamount Jaxe. That's all you have to do. Those are some of your assignments, your homework. Our homework is to get this team going in the right direction. Your homework is to be here in Cullowhee this weekend. We look forward to Football Alum Weekend. We got Band Day. We got the Pause Experience, the Freshman Run, all of that.
I tell you what, if you don't come, but you still want to see us win, give us $1 million.
All right. Well, we'll take that.
I mean, by God, if you think if you don't want to come because listen. Really, if you think about it, I was thinking about this. Do you think about this? If we have Derek Simmons and Caleb back, now you have to find 3 offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? But they both got about fight together or close to that. So that's the only way we'd have kept them.
Exactly. Find a way to get the NIL and the red share and all that.
I'm telling you, we're getting left behind.
It's a different world.
Hard to say, Hook, but man, Tennessee Tech, who's going to join our conference, they're paying guys. I mean, we gotta figure out what we don't do because if you want to continue to be, continue to be competitive, a lot of our guys have stayed around, and we need to make sure that we are able to do that in the future. If not, it's going to be a tough time. So we need to be able to, and home field gives us a great advantage. Doing this new construction, all those things is so important to continue to build this program where it needs to be. But by God, it's time to win a championship around this thing.
Yep.
So y'all come out and help us any way you can, and being here will help us more than anything. It will. If you get out here and help us, right now is what we need, your support. We need you to come help us win this football game and get us going in the right direction.
I'll oftentimes think if you don't like me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. That's my line right there. Yeah, and so I think it's easy to be a fan when people are winning. It's easy to be a fan when you're on top. But now let's show our true moxie, and let's back this football team. Let's pack out the stadium. We got to be better. We talked about the team being better than the last time out. Let's see if we can be better and beat that 11+, 11,889, I think is what we announced.
Great the first game.
See if we can get to 12 and into 13. We keep a track of the top 25 attendances at all time. Let's put some more numbers in that tally as we go forward. So looking forward to it this weekend. Be on the lookout for the 10 things that you need to know before you go. We'll have a video. We'll have the website. All those things to let you know what's going on around the Valley. More new and improved. We're working on some things here in the athletic department. We're not going to take things lying down. The coaches don't. Athletic department doesn't as well. We're looking at some new options when it comes to concessions around the stadium, trying to figure that out, trying to get some things to make sure that, again, excuse our progress. We're without a parking lot. We're without a lot of things right now in terms of getting things going in the right direction for this program. We are a work in progress on the field as far as right now through the first 2 games. Again, we look forward to seeing you back here. Come check out the construction. And again, check out the website, catamountsports.com. You can see the webcam. If nothing makes you want to be in Cullowhee, then seeing that, how about 55 degrees this morning when I walked out of the house?
I know.
He was cold. He's the Florida guy.
Got my little sweat thing.
Yeah.
Cold.
Big Puffy's going to be out pretty
Feels
soon.
good, though, man.
Yeah.
Big Puffy's waiting now.
yeah,
If it gets too cold, I got to bring it out.
But either way you look at it, it's a great time to be in the Cullowhee Valley.
This is
T-shirts.
supposed to be a nice weekend, too.
Yeah,
I know
I think
all
so.
week's supposed to be sunny and nice, like 70, 60 something.
Hey, just another day in paradise,
Man,
Coach.
Where
Right
else
here.
would you rather be? That's why I tell me, where else would you rather be?
That's it, right here in Cullowhee. So, again,
here.
special thanks to our folks here at Catamount Jaxe, the exceptional staff they have here, all the stuff they do for us. Of course, Stanberry Insurance, proud supporter of Catamount Athletics for the last 45 years. It's Western Carolina. It's Elon. It's all you need to know. Coming up this weekend, the Catamounts are back at home the next 2 weeks. We'll join you back here at Catamount Jaxe next Monday night to talk about Sanford. And let's talk about a win over Elon. Let's get here. Let's back the Cats. All comes your way this weekend. For the coach and our entire staff, Daniel Hooker saying so long for now.